Hey, what's up, guys? Today is my first video of two, and I wanted to talk about a topic that might be a hot take, especially with the way the culture and like the climate, the red pill, and all that shit is in 2026. But just from my personal experience, I actually prefer extroverted women over introverted women. Which might be weird as hell coming from I'm like a huge introverted man, but like and I don't really like I don't do the typical introvert shit, but I'm still an introvert in terms of my nature of like, oh, I don't like going out to parties too long or it'll like fuck up my battery and I need to stay home and recharge my energy, all that shit. But me personally, I'm not the most social person, but I'm not like completely antisocial. I'm like somewhere in the middle where I can be social with like friends, for example, or just I do Uber and Lyft on the side as my side job. And one thing is, people are pretty much the same. I mean, everyone has their hopes and dreams, and everyone asks the same kind of questions when I'm doing Uber and Lyft, obviously. They all ask, oh, what do you do for a living, blah, blah, blah. And I just tell them what I do, and then they make small talk with me, blah, blah, blah. And people in general are pretty similar. Like, they're not gonna, no one's really gonna bully the fuck out of you in social interactions in the way a lot of people with social anxiety think that they are, unless that person just is like a shit person. I'd say majority of people, if you just have a conversation with them, they're not going to be like huge fucking assholes for no reason. It's normally when you get to know someone, something might come up in the future at a certain point. But anyway, the point of this video is that I don't really find super introverted women like submissive and all that cringe shit. Is I don't really find them that enticing to date. I don't know. It's nothing against them personally, but I just don't like that kind of that person I have like Hinata from Naruto or like a really shy or like Nishi from You and I are polar opposites, or I guess in real life just like the super like antisocial book nerd chick. I think that only works because they're attractive. Like if they weren't attractive, that personality type wouldn't really be that appealing to I'll just speak for myself. Like in my opinion, it's not really that attractive to have a woman that's like in her 20s not really have that good at conversational skills and just be kind of like chill, like not chill, but like just super like to themselves and antisocial and kind of like. I think there's a good middle ground where a woman can be more like me, where I'd actually appreciate a woman like that that's an introvert, but like can be social when she needs to, has cool interests, nice, interesting job, I guess, attractive, I guess, like average looking at least. That type of girl is cool, but I think the average like introverted chick has just as much red flags as like everyone says like the extroverted chick does. Like if you're an introverted chick, you're more likely to suffer from, self-esteem problems, social anxiety, maybe you have a ton of mental stuff, maybe you get in your own head too much and overthink stuff. Just like an extroverted girl has, goes out too much, sometimes too bitchy, too bashful, all the negative qualities. So I just don't like people. It seems like people romanticize introverts and people with neurodiversity, like ADHD, autism, shit like that. Like they kind of fetishize them in a way. It's really gross to me. And as someone who has like diagnosed ADHD twice or maybe three times in my life and slight autism and shit, like people that fetishize people that have that is always a weird red flag. Like it's not always that bad. Like it's not always, oh, I just want to manipulate someone, and this person's the easiest person to. It's not always that insidious, but just the fact that I think a lot of people, since a lot of especially Gen Z, is very, very. antisocial and world majority, in my opinion, introverts, or at least that's what I say online. Kind of introverted personality will have similar kind of stuff. We kind of tend to romanticize women that are like us in a way, which I don't know. I just don't agree with that. I mean, if my next girlfriend or my first girl ends up being like a super introverted person that's like really chill, like I really want to give a fuck. But I think in this point in my life, just from having met lots of women, just in my life in general, I think extroverted women would be an actual better pairing for me. It'd be a nice little contrast to me being super introverted and kind of social versus like dating someone that's a social butterfly and will get me out of my shell and will help me actually do shit I want to do. I think that's a beautiful thing. Like an example of this girl I met on this trip I took recently, she was insanely just so nice and so extroverted. She got along with so many people, and she was obviously pretty attractive, you know what I mean? But like a woman like that, I think would be a great contrast to someone like me, kind of like in like weeb anime language, like a Suzuki to my Tani type shit. You feel me? Like, I think that would be a great contrast versus just someone that's like way more introverted than me and like way more shy. Because in my personality, I don't really have it in me to be like a social butterfly anymore. Like, I used to be really, really social when I was younger, but I just don't. In this point in my life, I just don't really care about humanity. I don't know, I just don't really care about people enough to kind of fake being interested. So if a woman could take that burden off me and just be like the social butterfly person, I think that would be just a match made in heaven for real. But anyway, that's just my short video. I think introverted women at this point in my life for me is they're more attractive and appealing in terms of personality and stuff than a super super introverted girl with like social anxiety and all that shit. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I don't sound like a weirdo, which I probably do. Peace.